Brett Veach does it again. He is already very active with free agency set to begin here in just a few days from now. Started with the franchise tag on Trey Smith. Then he trades Joe Thuney. What is going on? Very, very interesting. Something is happening here in Kansas City as cap space is opening, and we have some very fascinating moves already going on here. Brett Veach, best GM in football. What is next for this Kansas City Chiefs team? Let's dive in. Let's start with the Joe Thuney trade. So you send him off to the Chicago Bears, and all you get back is a 2026 fourth-round pick. And I know what some of you are thinking. Are you kidding me? You traded a Pro Bowl offensive guard who bailed you out bigly this past season, playing the left tackle position, not his natural position, and all you get in return is a 2026 fourth-round pick. On the surface level, it doesn't sound great. But, might I add, this guy was talked about just a couple days ago as a potential cut candidate. All right? There was a world where Joe Thuney could have been cut, and you got absolutely nothing for him. So that's what I would say, if we're looking at a silver lining of all this, is that you got at least something. And he's 32 years old. You move on from him, and you don't have to pay him, and you stick to your strategy of two things. One of those is that you are staying true to your core, your belief of that you rather move on from a player a year too early than a year too late. And that's what you're doing here with Joe Thuney at 32 years old. He's not getting any younger at this point. But then also you're sticking to your philosophy of that we don't like to give a third contract to a player, as we've seen them do time and time again. So this is one where I have to say to myself, all right, Brett, what do you got? What are you cooking up here? Because although personally, I like Joe Thuney, and I would have loved to seen him stay and loved to get an extension, I have to give Brett Veach the benefit of the doubt, and that is earned based on his track record and the decisions that he's made. You think about the most recent trades that we've seen. The Tyreek Hill situation. People thought he was crazy forever moving on from an all-time wide receiver in Tyreek Hill. Got a haul from that, and the Chiefs didn't miss a beat. In fact, they got better after they moved on from Tyreek Hill. The L'Jarius Sneed trade last year. That wasn't fun, but Jalen Watson played well. You did have some corner issues, but it ultimately, I think, worked out for the most part. So now, the Kansas City Chiefs, I know there's rumblings about playing Kingsley potentially at the left guard spot. I think that this reinforces that they are going to actually spend the money that it takes that's required at the left tackle position. Brett Veach is doing it again. And, you know, do I like it? Let me make it clear. I don't feel comfortable with this trade, but it's a situation of in Veach we trust. He knows more than us. He has a track record that speaks for itself. And I just got to sit here and say, Brett Veach, you know what you're doing here. Let's see what you have something cooked up. I have a feeling that something is on the horizon here. And here's what you have given up now, what you're saying goodbye to in Joe Thuney. Overall grade was fantastic. Near 80 this year. Pass block grade of 82. Run block grade of 73.5. Let's say, for all intents and purposes, that Kingsley is going to slide into that left guard spot. Can we realistically expect 3/4 of that production from Kingsley? Probably not. But if they invest in the left tackle position and get a Ronnie Stanley or a Cam Robinson or maybe even somebody we're not talking about, then there's an opportunity to make up for all of that and still improve this offensive line. So I'm not as concerned as some should be. It's not, I don't feel great about it, but the trust is earned of this move here from Joe Thuney. So I want to ask you guys now. We're putting all hands on deck here for Brett Veach. Do you believe in the Chiefs general manager? Do you trust him? Do you think he's making the right moves here to begin this offseason? You got two options here. Type B for believe, D for don't. Do you think Brett Veach knows what he's doing? Chime in the comments section and let us know what you think on our pinned comment today. Folks, you got to subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report if you haven't already, as we are bringing you the latest happenings on your favorite team. When the trade went down for Joe Thuney, I was still in bed, folks. And you know what I did? I threw on a hat, didn't even have time to fix my hair, and got the YouTube short out, recorded the video. My internet was down at my apartment due to a damn windstorm. Had to use the LTE to upload the video. Whatever makes it work. We make it work here on the Chiefs Report. And we got you covered each and every day on the channel. If you appreciate the work we're doing, if you want more Chiefs content, you got to subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for the latest happenings on your favorite team each and every day, all offseason long. We went live for the Joe Thuney trade. We're going to be live for free agency. This is your one-stop shop for all things Kansas City Chiefs. Subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications. That way you stay up to date with everything going on this offseason. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. So the trade details, you got a fourth-round pick for Joe Thuney. It doesn't sound like much, but as mentioned earlier, he could have been cut, and you could have gotten nothing for Joe Thuney. And now you take care of bringing back none other than Trey Smith. And Trey Smith is just now entering his prime years. And so here's the situation you find yourselves in, all right? You had to take care of the left tackle position. Obviously, you need to figure out what you're doing to the left guard spot. But the center position is as good as it gets with Creed Humphrey. The right guard position is as good as it gets with Trey Smith. And Jawan Taylor is kind of steady Eddie at the right tackle spot, although I wish he would not get penalized as much. But you are saying we are investing in our young products, that we're going to stay young. Forever young. I want to be forever young. We want to live forever. We want to live forever young. And that's what the Chiefs are doing with this offensive line of saying goodbye to Joe Thuney here. And ultimately, if it came down to it, of making a decision of we can only keep one or the other, Trey Smith or Joe Thuney, that's the right call to choose Trey Smith over Joe Thuney here. Now, here's another thing to keep in mind. So you've made these two moves, and you freed up some cap space with Joe Thuney being traded, about $16 million. Nick Bolton's in play to keep him around. Justin Reid's in play to keep him around. And you got some more money that you could potentially spend in the process as well for other free agents, or whether it's your draft picks. And you did add some draft capital for next year as well. So it's not all bad. This is one where we just say trust the process, that we sit here, we take our time, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I believe in Brett Veach, and everything is going to be okay. Let me ask you a quick question here. What's going to be the next move for the Kansas City Chiefs? Now that we've seen some big moves the last couple days with trading Joe Thuney, with franchise tagging Trey Smith, what is going to be the next big move? Is it re-signing Nick Bolton? Is it going to be re-signing Justin Reid? Is it going to be a big free agent signing next week? Predict for me in the comments section what that is, that next big move for Brett Veach. Let us know. Appreciate you joining us here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now for free for the latest happenings on your favorite team all off season long. Going to be a very eventful next couple of days. We'll have you covered right here on the channel. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.